You guys are good to go. Okay, you are good to go.
Hello, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, Mr. Co-Chair,
Go ahead, please.
I think it's easier if you conduct this, since I'm on Zoom and you're there. Why don't you go ahead and conduct the meeting?
Okay, we'll do. So we last left off, there was kind of a proposal on the floor that the Senate folks were going to confer with.
Right, and Mr. Co-Chair, if you have, I do have a motion I'd like to make on the joint we're still on the joint conference committee. That's correct. It's been moved and we're open for amendments on the joint conference committee.
That's correct.
Joint conference committee. Mr. Chairman, I would make a motion that under the new language, which is Romanet 4 and Romanet 6, which is on the it's on page 2 of the joint conference report, beginning at page 13, lines 8 through 11, where we have the new 2 chapters of Romanet. The motion I would make is that instead of it would be from fiscal year 2023 through fiscal year 2028. And make that motion, and then under the following paragraph in Romanet 6, that we just make a conforming amendment there. So for fiscal year 2029 and thereafter. And so ultimately what that does is that provides the 50-50 split for, I believe that provides this 50-50 split for 7 years after. And of course, we have a 50-50 split in the budget now. So it basically, that would be 8 years of a 50-50 split on the 1% severance tax into half into the common school fund or the permanent land fund, and half into the corpus of the permanent mineral trust fund.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, for discussion. Anyone? Go ahead.
Just real quick, Mr. Chairman. President Perkins, and I appreciate your email where you did your analysis on this. And so I appreciate you bringing that. And that 10 was just a placeholder. And I think you kind of firmed up those numbers. So I'm going to certainly vote aye on this. Thank you.
Thank you.
So I do have one question. Well, on the amendment, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? No. That motion carries. So, Mr. Co-Chair, it's my understanding that the 173 has hit a wall. And so what my question is let's assume that we get maybe a couple folks that were a few other people in the room on 173, and if we can find a middle ground on that one last time, would it be worthwhile putting something in this that says in the event 173 passes?
We could do that. Well, that or they can just deal with that and say notwithstanding 121.
Right, and if we do it, so.
Yeah.
And to me, it might be worthwhile to get a leadership meeting together to at least have this discussion. So you might want to pass that on and we'll do the same. I mean, apparently there were some numbers conflicts so that people were working towards the middle and all of a sudden another 3% showed up that came as a surprise that, so
That's not this bill.
no, that's not this bill. So the floor went out from under it, but I just don't want, I mean, we've been here this long that we're literally so close. It just doesn't make sense to me that we walk away. But anyway, back on this bill. Any further amendments? Seeing none. Okay, please go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Appreciate it. I'm going to be voting. I'm not going to sign this conference report, and appreciate the work. I'm going to be voting no on it. I just think that there's a lot of things in here, and I don't think this is a home run or even a base hit. I think taking this money off the table, I know we're taking some out, but it just doesn't make sense right now. And to do it in statute, I think is going to make it more difficult to reverse. Whereas now, 2023, it comes off the table anyway. But I'm not comfortable with this and the repeal of the deficit control account. I think not handling SIPA. I just don't think as a package of things, this one gets the job done. So appreciate the work, but thank you. Just wanted to say that.
Okay, any other comments?
Mr. Chairman, and I'm looking at my Senator Perkins over there, and appreciate your work on this. And I think, when I came in the legislature, I think our investment income was about 7% of our total revenues. And today, of course, it's over 20%, and it's been an incredible piece of that. So I think to find this compromise between our two bodies, that's the way it's supposed to work. And I think we'll continue to grow this and keeping this spending policy at 5%. And President Perkins will be chairman of Cap Fin again, I'm sure. And I think we can even do better. I
You can
really
do better. I agree. You can do better than me as
No,
chairman.
I mean, I
That's
think
what-
let me rephrase that. I think we can even do better on our investment returns. And that's where, and I think the president, former President Perkins is all over this. I think we can modernize this and take our investment returns because we're a very wealthy state. That's been our catch line on the House floor this year. And we're going to save but we're going to invest and get higher returns eventually. And that's really our charge. So President Perkins, I appreciate all your work on this and everybody. So.
Well, thank you. Thank you. And just so everybody out there, I'll just say for the record that Representative Harshman is my representative and I'm his senator. But anyway, we certainly have had our disagreements over the years, but one thing we've always agreed on is that on this 1% severance is a huge multiplier for the state. And we have a choice. We can either spend it once and it's gone each and every year, or we can save it and spend the investment returns from it for the rest of the statehood. And to make that decision to dedicate a significant portion of the severance tax revenues to savings for the future generations is just, I think, is a really wise policy choice for the Wyoming legislature. So thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, Representative Harsh.
You bet. And I think Representative Gray has one short blip.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman, one other thing I want to say, I have my notes here. I think the ultimate compromise on this is to put the 1% in a fund that can be invested, but to not lock it away in the trust fund. And I just don't understand why that has never been written up. And anyway, I appreciate the work, but I think we could have created another account within LISRA and done it in such a way where it's very difficult to pull out and get it liquid. And I think that's the ultimate compromise here. And anyway, we'll see what happens. It's going to be an interesting conversation on the floor, and appreciate the work. Thanks.
You bet. All right. Thanks, everybody. We'll circulate the,
We can take a vote on the conference report.
yeah, roll call.
Do you want me to do that? I can.
Yes,
Okay, I wasn't ready to do that, but I'm happy to do that. Senator Cooper,
Aye.
Senator Steinmetz,
Aye.
Chairman Perkins,
Aye.
Representative Gray,
No.
Representative Harshman,
Aye.
Chairman Nicholas.
Aye. Okay, and please circulate. And Mr. Representative Gray has suggested he will not sign, so we'll get the Senate first, and then we'll bring it over to our place.
All right, so someone will bring that to
Yep.
us.
And they've just been sending those by PDF, and I digitally sign them and send them back. So
Okay,
Thank you.
I wondered about that, Senator Perkins. Thank you.
thank you. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Ed. Thanks, Sherry. Thanks, Bob, Chuck, Bob, and Steve.